Yes, sir. The Brattleboro Recap Show. We're a little late today, but today's show is going to be awesome. Planet Hank Live Show, the Brattleboro News Recap Show, the very best news. We are the number one news source in the entire state, in the entire region, soon to be nation, worldwide, universe wide, everything wide. You know you like it wide open. Today's show is going to be much like the other shows, where basically what we do on the Brattleboro News Recap Show is I'm going to play 4 news videos from this week's news, and I'm going to explain them and explain some of the details and give viewers an opportunity for, to ask some questions and hear some of the new details that they might not already know. Susan Hubble says, first! Jeff Bush says, yo! She says, hair is on fire today. That's right. My hair is on fire today. What's left of it? First things first, I want to give a huge shout out to the people over at Fact8.com. Fact8.com is a Vermont access studio out of Bellows Falls. They help me out quite a bit. You can check out all of my content on their webpage at Fact8.com. And what they do is that they are awesome people, and they are highly skilled. And what they do is they provide a television studio to people to have access to media, have access to the ability to create their own show. If you like this show, or you have an idea for a show of your own, it could be on any topic that you choose. It literally could be anything. And they give you the opportunity to basically set that up for yourself, and they'll produce the whole thing. They'll set you up. So Fact8.com, huge shout out to you guys over there, keeping it real Vermont, and so check them out. Make sure you do check them out too, because it's worth it. Then I want to mention that we're streaming on multiple platforms here. We're streaming on Facebook, YouTube ×2, both on Planet Hank and on the Brattleboro News channel. We've opened up the super chats, the ability to buy little fancy different items for it. You can send me tips. You can send me stars. You can do whatever. Big shout out. Look at Renegade Property Maintenance. Big shout out to you, my sponsor. Look at Little Goatsy in the house. Big shout out. He goes, wait till you get the call that I'm spanking it in a public park. Okay. First things first, we already got a star party going on. Who's sending me stars? Who the F is sending stars already? What I'm going to do now is honestly the most important part, is that we're going to send this to groups. Brattleboro News Recap Show. And I'm inviting all of you to basically take part in the show. We all know it's the best show. We're going to have a wonderful time today. The Brattleboro News Recap Show, the number one news source in the region. We're sharing it up to all these fancy groups, the best groups. And I want you all to share it onto your timelines and into your stories. Make sure you do it into your stories. Recap show. Bang. Okay. Hashtag Brattleboro News. And always put hashtag Brattleboro News so that, you can find it all if people are using their hashtags like they're supposed to. Mature member scanner group. Number 2, Bennington scanner and surrounding areas. The Planet Hank locker room. Brattleboro panhandling, ranting, American White Wolf Scanners, Newfane, Vermont, Brattleboro Chat, Brattleboro, Vermont, the Scanner Gossip Group, and there are a few others that I will tap it into, but that's about it right there. And if you have any other groups are a great way to share stuff up and get some more people in here. We would love to have all the people in here. This show is going to be awesome. It's literally going to cover a lot of the stuff that you guys are going to love because Star Party activated. Who just did it? Big shout out to Jeff Bush. Sent me 200 stars. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Okay, let's see the, let me pull it back up. And there it goes. Okay. He goes, I'm not surprised there was a panhandling group. Literally. Okay, so in Brattleboro this week, we had the select board meeting, which was major big news for the town. It was a major event of people wondering what the hell's going on. I've got some slides from the select board meeting talking about crime rates in the area and what's been going on with Brattleboro being so full of crime, so full of mental health issues, so full of crap lately, really, you know, and it was actually kind of refreshing because the select board, a lot of times they go over crap that I don't care about and nobody really does, and they're all out here talking about flowers and fucking waterfalls and butterflies. This week it was a whole bunch of women who were pissed off, who were crying, who were scared, and did not feel safe in their own town of Brattleboro, and they wanted to bring it up. So here in a little bit, we're going to bring up a lot of the stuff that happening in the select board meeting, and you know how it goes. I'm going to basically, in this video, I play 4 news stories, and then I'll let you guys have an opportunity to watch them with me and then make comments, ask questions, and then listen to my dialogue because I'll tell you all the juicy details and the funny parts that weren't necessarily into the video. But before that, we're going to take an opportunity right now to go ahead and thank my fucking many sponsors. There's been people piling in to sponsor the Brattleboro News and the Recap Show. First of all, my flagship sponsor, Brattleboro Ford. Let me tell you, these guys are amazing. They love Brattleboro News. They're very interested in helping out the town. And they've offered this. If you're a Brattleboro News fan and you go in and mention Brattleboro News, you're going to get $250 off any vehicle purchase and 10% off any service work that you have done on your vehicle. Big shout out to Renegade Property Maintenance. He's in the chat. If you have any work that you need done, mowing, residential, commercial, fully insured, free estimates, hit him up. And of course, the premier electrical company in the town and in the region, King's Electric, residential, commercial. Man, you see these guys' trucks, they're amazing. Then we got Stripe It, Seal It, patch repair, crack filling, seal coating, line painting, stenciling. These guys are awesome. Yep. Make sure you hit them up if you got a parking lot you need some work on. And here's one of my new sponsors, Zico's Haircuts. Zico's Haircuts. If you need to get your hair cut, they're right next to Hannaford's and the Hannaford Plaza up off Putney Road in North Brattleboro. And she's awesome. Okay, these are people I grew up with. She is highly talented, haircuts, stylist, all that. Make sure you pop in. Regular stuff, you know. It's a nice, clean facility. You can get in. It's not a bunch of BS. It's not overpriced. You know, Zico's Haircuts. Hit them up. Get your haircut. And one of my other brand new sponsors, Vermont Roadworks, asphalt work, paving, any type of land work like that out of Guilford, Vermont. Hit them up. Here's their phone number, 802-579-1911. Big shout out to Fred. Thanks for sponsoring the show. Everybody knows about that. Sponsors is what makes it happen. It's very important to sponsor the show. What's going on? What's going on over here, huh? Hold on, one of my lights went out there, huh? Boom! Can't have the red light out. And then I want to tell you guys about this. This is my boy Blaine's summer dance party with DJ Chase. This is happening this Saturday night. Make sure you pop over. Let's go over and dance. I'm going to be there. You guys will have a chance to meet up. Okay, it's at the Legion right across from the courthouse. Great guy putting this on. Last time it was super packed. Everybody loved it. Everybody loved it. Justin Sims says, love you, Hank. Just don't forget. Listen, let me see. He goes, love you, Hank. Don't forget the A1 since day ones. Yes, sir. Elena says, will you be at that dance party? Of course. Got to cut the rug. Got to cut the rug. Leonard Derby says, what's up, man? What up? Michael Lucy in there. Ma's driving. She's proud of you. That a boy, man. You're growing quick. Patty Blum. Let me read some names off. These are great. Big shout out to Trina over at Stripe It, Seal It. Jennifer Shepard. Kayla Landers. Patty Blum. Lori Chase. Eddie Hawes. Oh, boy. My man Aaron Barger in the house. Heather Prue. Joseph Wojtik. Elena, little Goatsy in the house, Martha Phillips, Dacone, Justin Sims, big shout out to Justin Sims, Kim Cobb, Brandy Wissell, Jeff Bush, he goes, so is Marco fired, Leonard Derby, Michael Lucy, Anthony Rogers, Trevor Howe, Rhonda Fitz, everybody else, if I didn't read your name off, it's not my fault. It's not my fault. So let's get right into the meat and potatoes of the show. I got a great news story that I'm super proud of coming out of Flat Street, Brattleboro, the #1 crime area in all of the town. Everybody loves Brattleboro crime stories. So here we go. We're going to play it, and then I'll let you guys ask me questions.
Breaking news.
I'm Hank with Brattleboro News and PlanetHank.com. I'm here on Flat Street in downtown Brattleboro, Vermont, where Brattleboro police located a man who is known to have an active warrant out of Bennington.
Is this your Shuckware Dave? Ask if you want it. If you don't want it, of course. Well, that's why I asked you if it was yours, David.
You guys, I went to the public defenders yesterday and asked them for that.
You want it?
Like a cigarette, let me have a piece of pot.
I don't have a lighter on me.
I do with my pocket. Why is it so really such a thing?
I think it's out of Bennington.
You guys, I tried you.
Yeah, I think it's out of Bennington. I think. Let's walk over to the prison. Is this yours as well, David? The water? Yep.
Yeah. What?
Right to the cruiser.
What is? Why am I like? What
I don't know. We can give you more information when we get back. I think they said
No,
the bail amount of like $5,000. I'm sure they're heating up.
After Officer Cody Johnson of the Brattleboro Police Department confirmed the warrant with dispatch, he put the man in handcuffs and placed him under arrest.
No, that is the glass tube.
It's not crack.
No,
It's a glass tube used to.
no, I don't, dude. How can he? You can't say that.
From the
That isn't what it's called. Sold over the counter.
So, you just didn't go to Bennington?
What? I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea why you were touching and feeling me and surrounding me with all sorts of weapons and all that stuff. You just rolled up on me. Well, hopefully, I mean, you've done this numerous times. Hopefully, the civil rights people finally get involved and realize
That I arrested somebody with a warrant?
no, that pretty much raping me right now. Like you have numerous times.
You say that I'm raping you?
Yeah, touching me and surrounding me with weapons and all sorts of stuff. I need one of those telephone numbers to call.
We're gonna bring it all with you. We're gonna bring it all with us.
Because they'll probably post my bail after they've seen the harassment that you guys have given me.
I was able to get a comment from Chief Hardy of the Brattleboro Police Department.
On July 11th, Officer Johnson spotted an individual that had an active arrest warrant out of Bennington, Vermont. That individual was placed under arrest without incident.
Just because you are arrested does not mean that you're guilty of a crime, and the investigation is ongoing. I'm Hank with Brattleboro News and PlanetHank.com, sponsored by Brattleboro Ford. Bow! Brattleboro! Here we go. Oh my God. Let me decompress with that video, boy. There's a lot going on here. Let me read some of these comments because I know that you guys were having fun with it. He goes, oh my, Lauren Taylor writes, oh my God, I officially dubbed this man Chief. Why are you arresting me? He goes, Planet Hank arrested me. Aha. Aha. He goes, welcome to the shithole of Brattleboro. It's all, we got a saying around the Planet Hank live show and really anywhere around me, basically. It's all Hank's fault. It is definitely all Hank's fault. My fault every time. I mean, come on, people. He goes, we love you right back. She said, the cops' reaction is priceless. He goes, they all never know why. He goes, do you still sell ride-alongs? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And they are conveniently priced at $1. At $1, you can do a ride-along with your friendly Planet Hank and get a inside look at what's going on with the Brattleboro News and all the very best content. So let me point out a few things about this video that were my favorite parts. Is Officer Hartman of the Brattleboro Police Department is the one. He's the bigger officer there, and he literally walked up and goes, "Hey, bro, do you want your Chef Boyardee?" He goes, "Is this your Chef Boyardee?" And the man got pissed off about it. He was like, "Yeah, what the fuck? Of course I do, bro." And everything. And to me, I thought it was so funny. He's always got the comments. The man always has the funniest comments. He always has some little joke. He always has a way to add a little bit of humor to try to take down the temperature of the arrest. But in this case, the guy got all butthurt about it. One of the next parts that I thought was super funny was when Officer Johnson, who was searching him, was like, as he's searching him, he's listing off what's in his pocket, and he pulls out a crack pipe and is like, crack pipe. And the guy was like, "No, it's not, man. It's not a crack pipe. How can you say that? How can you say it's a crack pipe? Blah, blah." He goes, what do you mean? It's a pipe you smoke crack. It's a glass tube that you are smoking crack through. Like, bro, come on. You know what I mean? You got to be shitting me, bro. You're trying to tell a Brattleboro, Vermont police officer what is and is not a crack pipe. Like, I mean, you know what I mean? They see crack pipes every day, all day long. You know what I mean? Like, we're not listening to that, okay? Susan Hubble writes, Lil Goatsy wants a ride along. Elena Hubble, so do I. Aha. Here's the thing. I'm going to be charging y'all goats a little bit more for them ride-alongs, if you know what I mean. She goes, ride along with Hank and you risk having to fight a Nazi. No, I just Steven Seagal that ass right in the throat. We just Steven Seagal that ass right in the throat. He goes, it's got Chore Boy in it. Of course it did. Of course it did. It's ridiculous. Just joined to the crack pipe part. Alex, big shout out to Alex. Yeah, bro. Just joined into the crack part is fucking lit, man. Yeah, we're out here smoking crack. No, it's not. No, it's not a crack pipe. Yes, I want my Chef Boyardee. Yeah, no, it's not a crack pipe. And then let's get to the comment that what in Brattleboro is going on? What in the Brattleboro is going on here? He said, we need to get some civil rights people involved because you guys are raping me, okay? You guys are raping me and surrounding me by weapons. Can someone please explain that? Like, dude, what is with everybody in Brattleboro claiming that they're being raped? I want to hear the answer to that. What in the Brattleboro is going on with these allegations of being raped? Officer Johnson just looks at him and is like, oh, so I'm raping you? I'm raping you for arresting you with a warrant? She goes, Jacqueline Christensen writes, all this work and the state cites and releases. Pretty much. John Merrick says, thanks for some real reporting, Hank, period. Yes, we're out here doing the reporting. We're doing the stuff. We're doing exactly. We're letting everybody know what's going on. Some people have said, Hank, you're calling everybody out in town. And it's like, no, not really. What I'm doing is showing what everybody sees in town. And we heard all week at the select board meeting, everybody's afraid. Everybody is afraid to stand up and say what the hell's been going on in Brattleboro. There's a lot of violence. There's a whole shitload of drug activity. There's all kinds of larcenies and thefts and burglaries. There's all kinds of nasty stuff going on in town. And someone's got to actually stand up for the peoples and say, hey, look, we've had enough. We've had enough. We're not doing it. So apparently the warrant was for impeding a police officer out of Bennington. It had a $5,000 bail attached to it, which, if you're sitting here in Brattleboro or in Vermont, you're going to realize that, okay, so for instance, when Brandon Bain tried to attack me, the guy with the Nazi swastika on his chest, and I throat punched him, he got $200 bail, okay? They are not doing bails. There aren't big bails going on around here. So the fact that it had a $5,000 bail attached to it, that kind of gives you the idea that, hey, something's up. Impeding a police officer, I don't know the nature of the crime or what the details of his case are specifically, but in some impeding of a police officer case charges, it could be for trying to grab a weapon, trying to take something, or somehow impeding a police officer, you know, like messing with their investigation, maybe destroying some evidence, or messing with people involved in an investigation. Who knows? But the fact that the bail was set so high sort of led everybody to believe, okay, like, dude, I mean, you had a $5,000 warrant in the state of Vermont. So, like, they clearly wanted you arrested. There, you know, and it was out of Bennington, which isn't even the Brattleboro police. So the fact that he's getting upset at them and saying this, that, the next thing about them arresting him and that they're raping him, I mean, I don't know what he was thinking. She goes, McDonald's is so important. And I truly appreciate that. I truly, truly appreciate that comment. There's something about police and McDonald's. I don't know. They go together so well. Cheeseburgers, fries, and no soda. Okay? And speaking of no soda, we ain't drinking no soda. I'm having my new flavor, Oasis Celsius Live Fit Delicious Oasis Vibe energy drink to keep me piling up these comments and yelling into this microphone so well. We're going to pound some of this. I know you guys love energy drinks. Let's get it done. The Brattleboro News Recap Show. The greatest show. The best show. Let me tell you something. When you hear people bitching about me and complaining about what Hank's doing and going around town saying, oh, why are you showing that? Why are you doing that? Just remember this. It's a nice little saying I like to say. They mad, we happy, okay? And that's the truth. We're taking the town of Brattleboro back. We're going to make it fun again. We're going to make it freaking amazing to be in Brattleboro. We're going to make it safe for our women and children to go out. We're going to make it cleaned up so that the downtown area isn't scaring our out-of-state customers away. At the select board meeting, all I heard was from a bunch of business owners who were complaining that, like, hey, people coming to get haircuts are complaining they're scared to park their cars. They don't feel safe walking up to our businesses, and we're losing business. Okay, and one woman, made the comment and wanted to remind everybody who was bitching and moaning and on the select board and as part of these nonprofits that are plaguing the state that without the businesses donating tax money from their sales and the businesses in towns making profits, there's no fucking tax revenue to fund all the goddamn nonprofits. So just keep that in mind when we're out here with a $16 billion a year budget for nonprofits in the state of Vermont. You know what I mean? You better make sure that you're not taking all the money from this yearly budget for your little nonprofit ideas and making it so that they can't afford to have police and protection and safety and lights and all the stuff that we need to actually ensure that we have profitable businesses that can be taxed in the first place. Are you kidding me? Judy Powers, right? It's a long time overdue. It needs to be cleaned up. He goes, you do have Bernie Sanders. Yeah, Bernie Sanders. We need to get our priorities straight. We need to be paying for the cops and the stuff that we need to clean up the town the right way. Okay? There's this obsession in the town with mental health and all that. Dude, they narrowed it down to the people who are the top 20 perpetrators in the town that use up 5% of all police resources go to just 20 individuals that they narrowed it down through data collection and statistics. Okay, 20 people can be blamed for 5% of all police calls and police activity. It's ridiculous, okay? And let me tell you something. Those people, you have seen them on the Brattleboro News, okay? And it's hilarious. But I'll tell you like this. They don't want to go to the freaking mental health treatments. They don't want to do it. They're not willing to be part of that. So spending all of our money to treat and go and run down that path of feel-good narrative, it's just not working. Oh, well. We just have to tweak the system a little bit. I'm not telling you you're all wrong and you're terrible people. What I'm saying is we got to make some changes. How we spend some money. Let's get some better choices in spending. Okay. She says, oh boy, here we go. Maureen says they just need to do away with their Narcan. She goes, I'm glad you're showing what Brat is really like these days. Now they're upping the cost of parking when people are already scared to park and forget about the parking garage. Yeah, that's a great point right there. Upping the cost of parking when you're too scared to even leave your car. She says, can you explain your thoughts, Maureen? She goes, I think she means it's natural selection. Oh, boy. Here we go. Natural selection. Okay. Let me point out one more thing before we get into the next news story. This is my beautiful scanner donated to me by Jeff Bush with Cherokee Diversified, one of my longtime sponsors. Big shout out to everybody who supported me for a long time and always been there for the Planet Hank live show while I had ups and downs, while I tried this or that, until I ultimately landed in the Brattleboro News. But this scanner was very expensive. And it's very powerful. And what this allows me to do is listen in and interact with the police department and the fire and the EMS in the area and the state troopers and everybody on a digital scanner. So now I can hear the calls and deploy. And I usually beat them there. I can pull right out of my house, show up on the calls, and get that tasty footage that everybody likes to get. Okay? And that's a big part of how this all works. The other thing that I'd like to let everybody know is that I've got these business cards. And I have been signing the back of these cards and putting a little signature on them, okay? I take it here, and I sign my name right here like this. So if you see me, and this is something that you're interested in, you can always ask for Hank to send you or give you an autographed business card. The other thing is I've got these nice baseball cards, okay, that I have of me doing stand-up comedy. Yes, I'm a comedian as well as a reporter. And these are signed, and they're in plastic cases. And I have these available. Hit me up in DMs if that's something that you're interested in. He goes, Mr. Jeff, I see. He goes, Hank is the mayor of Brattleboro. Yes, we're going to make that happen. We're going to make the mayor of Brattleboro thing happen. I think that it's long overdue, and I think that everybody would appreciate it a lot. So let's get into the next story. Let me tell you this, though. First thing, let's divert into sponsors. Brattleboro Ford. Great people. Head over to Brattleboro Ford. Say Brattleboro News, and you get $250 off. All vehicle purchases, 10% off. All service work. Hit up Renegade Property Maintenance for all your lawn care needs. Residential, commercial, fully insured, free estimates. King's Electric, these guys are awesome. They got beautiful trucks. They do beautiful electrical work. The premier electric company in the region. Stripe it, seal it. The very best patch repair, crack filling, seal coating, line painting, stenciling, all of that. It's out of Keene, New Hampshire, but they service the whole region. If you have a parking lot, you got to get up with them. And if your hair's all out of control like mine is, head over to Zico's Haircuts right next to Hannaford's in the Hannaford's Market off Putney Road in North Brattleboro. The best haircuts in town, hands down. Nice, clean facility. Nice, normal stylist. Get your hair cut. And big shout out to the newest Vermont Roadworks, asphalt and paving. These guys have a bunch of trucks. They're doing all kinds of great work all over the region. They're a big part of the town. Thanks for sponsoring the show. And then head over to the dance party, summer dance party with DJ Chase at the Legion this Saturday night, 8 p.m. to midnight. They're spinning, they're dancing, they're doing all that. I'm going to pull up. You'll be able to get pictures and do shout outs with Planet Hank from the Brattleboro News, the greatest ever, right? So let's pull up the next story. The next story is absolutely hilarious. I always love pulling these stories up and playing them for all of you. You guys, I absolutely love it. We got another story coming out of everybody's favorite area, okay? Flat Street.
Breaking news.
I'm Hank with Brattleboro News and PlanetHank.com. I'm here off Flat Street in downtown Brattleboro, Vermont, where Brattleboro police located a man who they had known to have an active warrant for identity theft.
Get back. All right, let's go to the front of the black. You clean it up the front. Anything sharp in the pockets in those knives?
The lighter and the pipe.
Okay. Even easier. See the down.
After Brattleboro police officer Cody Evans confirmed the warrant was indeed active, they put the man in handcuffs and placed him under arrest.
I could be wrong. I'll get the definite for you when we get back to the PD. Okay, why don't you go around to this side? I'm not sure.
Hey, can I film that?
Something out of Bennington. What's the...
I was able to get a comment from Chief Hardy of the Brattleboro Police Department.
On July 9th at approximately 5:04 p.m., Officer Evans spotted an individual who had an active arrest warrant for identity theft. That individual was placed into custody without incident.
Just because you are arrested does not mean that you're guilty of a crime, and the investigation is ongoing. I'm Hank with Brattleboro News and PlanetHank.com, sponsored by Brattleboro Ford.
Wow, okay. So, we see what's going on here. We see what's going on. Okay, we got the Brattleboro News up on Flat Street again for a warrant arrest. And people are pointing out, why do they never know that they have a warrant? Are you shitting me? How do you not know? How the fuck do you not know? Especially a warrant for identity theft, you know? we got a lot of crime coming out of Flat Street, okay? We had a murder down there very recently. We've had all kinds of assaults. We got drug activity. We got freaking identity theft. Man, it just goes to show you. It's like, what's identity theft? You know what I mean? What are they stealing your debit card? They're going online. They're trying to mimic who you are, stealing your social security number, doing all kinds of these little fraudulent scam hustles on the great people of Vermont. Okay? This is just another crime of moral turpitude. Okay, victimizing the people from our community and then going down and hanging out in the prospect lot, getting high on fentanyl and crack. Dude's got a crack pipe. You know what I mean? He says he didn't know he had a warrant. Motherfucker damn well knew he had a fucking crack pipe though, didn't he? Okay? He goes, she said, to be fair, they seem like they don't even know what planet they're on. Okay, well, this is Planet Hank. Okay? She goes, well, exactly, there it is. Joanna Cruz says, well, I'm sure they'll realize they are on Planet Hank. Yes, they're going to realize that real quick. He goes, I would just stay right off of Flat Street. And a lot of people are, okay? A lot of people are staying right off of Flat Street, okay? So we've had 2 stories from Flat Street, both of which had a crack pipe, okay? What's with this like casual crack pipe? All right, so let's go over some of the legislation in the state of Vermont. Somehow, in this state, it is not illegal to have drug paraphernalia. Meaning, you're allowed to have a crack pipe. You're allowed to have fentanyl needles. You can have weed pipes. You can have whatever the hell kind of pipe. You know what I mean? Any type of paraphernalia, which is insane. So you could sit there and have a whole crack bong. You know what I mean? You could have one of those big whole glass meth pipes and you're smoking out of it. The cops, they don't pull that scraping residue out of the bullshit because the reality is, even if you have a few bags of fentanyl or crack, like a half gram of crack, or I don't know how much they call a user amount, but if you got a gram of crack, you're just going to get a misdemeanor cite and release anyway, okay? That's a cite and release crime. That's a misdemeanor, meaning they're going to give you a paper with a court date and say, go to court in 3 weeks. That's about it. He goes, it used to be the misdemeanor for the paraphernalia. Yeah, I don't know what changed. She goes, and you can't get charged with possession if you OD. Exactly right. I was just getting to that, meaning, okay, so say you overdose and you're down on the ground and it's clear and you've got a fucking needle hanging out of your arm, et cetera, et cetera. They can't do shit to you. They can't get you for possession. They can't cite and release you. They can't even search your pockets. They can't even take your drugs away. They're worried that someone's going to hide out and basically not call for EMS to come and save you. He goes, she said, Mary Bernier writes, they will let you leave with your little bit of crack. Yes, as we have seen in the Planet Hank videos, they will give you your crack back. So all y'all living down in Indiana and Florida and Iowa and stuff, where y'all are still going to prison, let me tell you what, that is so out of style, okay? This is 2024. Y'all are on some 1995 shit. Okay, in 2024, with cops giving us our crack back, okay? They're going to give us our crack back. They're going to give us our crack pipe. Crack pipe's legal. You ain't taking my crack and my crack pipe, then what am I going to do? Imagine being stuck out on Flat Street and you don't have your crack pipe anymore. That would be bullshit, okay? We ain't about to have a bunch of goddamn freeloaders sitting out on Flat Street with no crack pipes. No, sir, not in this state. Not in this state. Let me tell you what. At our needle exchange here in town, Bain Resources, or whatever it's called, it's run and owned by Mitt Romney, okay? They hand out needles and crack pipes and Shore Boy. You bring in your dirty needles, and they'll give you your methadone, and then they give you clean needles, and then crack tubes, and free Shore Boy. Not only is it legal to have it, but we're paying for it. We're literally paying for them to have their crack pipes and chore boy. God forbid a police officer took away some shit that we already paid for. I'm not paying a police officer to take away a crack pipe that I paid for the goddamn crackhead to fucking have. Are you shitting me? You know what I mean? That's just a goddamn waste of resources right there. All right, talk about chasing your tail around. She said, God bless America. Blaine says, what up, buddy? Steve Peterson says, this is all the shit all downtown business owners deal with on a daily basis. I wonder if the select board will ever connect the dots between all the closed storefronts and the human garbage downtown. I'll tell you, okay, so I sat in the select board meeting for 4 hours on Tuesday night, and motherfuckers were pissed. The town was pissed. The people that are usually the number one suspect for why shit is the way it is were down there finally complaining and wanted some answers. And they eventually pissed the town off, and the chief of police had to pop in and lay down the smackdown a little bit. Big shout out to Chief Norma Hardy. Chief Hardy, the number one police chief, she kicks ass. Okay, let me tell you that. All right, if you guys don't know her, this is what I always say about myself, and now I say it about Chief Hardy. Okay, if you are saying that you don't like Chief Hardy, it's because you don't know Chief Hardy. I say it about myself all the time. If you're saying you don't like Hank, it's because you don't know me. You don't know shit about me. You ain't never met me. That's why you don't like me. So, fuck out of my face. How about that? She goes, we live in a liberal state. They will find a way to make people feel bad for them. Exactly. Baldor Moon, Chief Hardy with a heart. Big shout out to the Brattleboro Police Department, Chief Hardy, for doing all those great things. Susan Hubble says, we love Chief Hardy. That's right. So, now that we've seen some drug users with some warrants coming onto Flat Street, I've got a very, very serious story here. This next story takes a whole different twist to the drug pandemic that we have going on and some of the problems that we have, okay? This next story is no joke. This one here blows people away from all over the country when they see this happen. They can't figure it out. They look at their laws and how they are policed, and then they see what happens in this next story and are like completely blown away by it. So we've got a great story, but first, we're going to do the damn thing. Brattleboro Ford, great people. Head over to Brattleboro Ford off Putney Road. You know what I mean? You buy a vehicle, mention Brattleboro News, you get $250 off on any vehicle purchase, 10% off all service work. Big shout out to Renegade Property Maintenance. If you got any outside work, lawn mowing, landscaping, residential, commercial, fully insured, free estimates. Shout out to Kings Electric, the premier electric group, the premier electric company in the area, residential, commercial. They got awesome trucks. These guys do great work. Everybody has them. Stripe it, seal it out of Keene. Are you kidding me? Patch repair, crack filling, seal coating, line painting, stenciling, any type of work for the top of your parking lot. Zico's Haircuts. Go get your hair cut. Y'all looking bummy as hell out here walking around. You got to get your hair cut. You got to get it lined up. Get ready for the dance party this weekend. Blaine's dance party over at the Legion. Go get your hair cut at Zico's Haircuts next to Hannaford's in Hannaford Plaza. The very best haircuts in town. And the new sponsor, Vermont Roadworks. You need any asphalt. You need your driveway done. You need culverts. You need anything. They got all the equipment. They got big trucks. Got a full staff. These guys have been around forever. They do great work. And big shout out to Blaine with the summer dance party with DJ Chase. Let's get it done. Pull up on Saturday night. Cut a rug. Meet Hank. Get some pictures with me. We'll do it up big. Okay. And we got our very next news story coming out. And this one, like I said, is a very big deal around town. And everybody, this one is a little more serious.
Breaking news.
I'm Hank with Brattleboro News and PlanetHank.com. I'm here off Fairground Road in South Brattleboro, where Brattleboro police received a call for a disturbance. Brattleboro police received a call that someone had forced their way into a motel room, threatened multiple people, stole some property, and a handgun was involved. Police then located a vehicle associated with the call off Fairground Road in South Brattleboro. They turned their blue lights on and pulled the vehicle over.
Did you guys go to the Black Mountain? Did you go to the Black Mountain?
Me and you'll talk about it. We'll talk about it, but I'll read the car for you. All right. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can only be used against you in a court of law. Yes, we're good. You have the right to talk to a lawyer before questioning and have a lawyer present with you during questioning. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, won't be appointed to represent you at public expense before any questioning if you wish. In Vermont, that is called a public defender. If you decide to answer questions, you can stop the questioning anytime. Do you understand you can read the rest off?
Not really.
You may read it again slowly. So what we will do then is I will search it quickly and quickly in the back of the car will be out here and so what I'm going to do is we'll do this. I'm going to open it.
After an investigation, police got consent to search the vehicle and found quantities of fentanyl, crack cocaine, and a handgun. Brattleboro police placed the female passenger, April Garcia, under arrest.
What? Where'd you find that? Found it in his bag. So inside the green bag, we have a container. Inside the container, we have a nondescript tip. So he's found 6. What's up? All right. That was all in the rear. Yeah, so it was in this bag. Oh, look at that. 32. Found the gun? Yep. Good. Hold on a second. Don't touch it. Don't touch. You found the gun? Yeah. All right. Don't touch it yet. Go to the dry. Bring it up here. And then, so put it on here. And then the mag release should be on the other side. So whenever he's done, we'll flip it over. Okay. And then take those pucks out and show the contents of the puck so he can have a visual of what's inside each puck. So open those up so he can see. Clear. Yeah. All right.
Well, Harmon, if you're comfortable, and you want to just set that in the paper bag, you get back to PD and swap the handle first, and then we can clear it.
Okay.
I mean, it's an M&P.
I was able to get a comment from Sergeant Hamilton of the Brattleboro Police Department.
On July 16th at approximately 6:05 p.m., officers of the Brattleboro Police Department were dispatched to a residence on Putney Road for a report of a burglary. Later, a vehicle that was reported to be involved with the burglary was located and stopped on Fairground Road, and inside, a suspect in the burglary, April Garcia, was located. The vehicle was searched, and crack cocaine, fentanyl, and a handgun were all seized. Garcia was placed under arrest, transported to the Brattleboro Police Department, where she was ordered $25,000 in bail, which she later posted and was released.
Just because you are arrested does not mean that you're guilty of a crime, and the investigation is ongoing. I'm Hank with Brattleboro News and PlanetHank.com, sponsored by Brattleboro Ford.
Wow, so we're starting to see some of this stuff coming to life. We got some big problems popping off in little old Brattleboro. Okay, we got April Garcia. Okay, and the police were like, okay, she is a known drug dealer. As soon as they saw her in the car and heard the name, they knew exactly what had happened. Okay, and they were looking for the gun because the people over at the Black Mountain called and said that basically she went into the room and pointed a gun at them and stole their phones and did a few things, stole all their money in their phones and threatened them, et cetera, and then took off. Okay. The driver of the car was shitting himself. He was freaking out. So they kind of, as police, decided to separate them all. and deal with her away from the driver because they needed consent from the driver, which he gave. But they got the idea that he probably didn't want to give consent to search that vehicle in front of her, because she would probably start blaming him, calling him a rat or doing whatever else she can do to intimidate him into not doing it. So he gave consent, and then sure enough, they found 100 bags of fentanyl, or I think it was just over 110 bags, which isn't a huge bust, but it's enough to drive around town all day selling and whatever. I think that they're going for $40 for 10 bags, a bundle. So they're out there, you know what I mean? She had 10 bundles. And it is what it is. And then sure enough, right under the seat, there goes that gun. And Jeff points out it was a 380. She said it's fucking insane. So one thing that I think a lot of people have the misconception around town, okay, is that these are just little soft little users and they're like somehow groovy, man, in Brattleboro. No, they're not. Okay, this is a very dangerous drug game that we have, and we are being targeted from drug organizations out of town. Okay, April is out of Hartford. Okay, she's from Hartford. Like, that is ridiculous. The idea that they're not driving, Hartford is in 1 hour away. The idea that they're not driving up from Connecticut to target the very lax drug laws, the very lax firearm laws, and the nonprofits that are catering to this shit. They absolutely are. The nonprofits are allowing our drug users to not have to worry about buying food, ever having to deal with any type of responsibilities to take care of themselves. No, they just go walk around and go from one of the nonprofits to the other, get all the food, hygiene. They can get places to stay. They can get free apartments. They can get phones, EBT, all that, all set up. So every dollar that they make from panhandling or whatever else they decide to do to make money, which usually is helping sell drugs, they can basically just spend it all on drugs. A bag of fentanyl is like $5. If you shoot up 2 bags, you're pretty much going to pass the fuck out, maybe die. Okay, so like for $10, you can basically get a lethal dose of the stuff. And, so she's running around with 110 bags of it in her pocket, or it was in a bag out back where she was sitting. So they arrested her, did the whole thing, and she posted $25,000 bail. Okay, now I don't have the information if she got a bail bond, and that's 10%, $2,500, but still, she was out. She's right out on the streets. She had a gun, fentanyl, crack, made a violent crime, threatened people, went to the Black Mountain, did a burglary, and was able to post bail and get right out. She's on the streets now. Let me go ahead and read some comments. She goes, Jeff Bush writes, so are these people coming into Brattleboro from other cities? Absolutely. Brattleboro is being targeted, and it's time for everybody to wake up and realize that. He goes, yes, they are. It is the first stop from New York, New Jersey, Mass, Connecticut. It's the hub. So where Brattleboro sits in the state of Vermont is right down on the very southern border. And 91 North is the main highway that goes from interstate. It goes right up through Massachusetts and heads in. And you kind of got to go through Brattleboro to get to anywhere else in the state. So it's the first stop. So they're all kinds, pretty much all the drugs that could go into the rest of the state north of there at some point head right through Brattleboro. And it is a definite thing that we have people coming up from Massachusetts, Connecticut, targeting our streets. Because that's a big part of Brattleboro's problem for sure. Absolutely. She sells a lot if she posted $25,000 bail that night. Yeah, absolutely. She goes, Lauren Tiller writes, it was already going downhill. I was like 17 when my friend got stabbed in the throat by a crackhead and died. Yeah. So glad that they snagged that shit. Absolutely. He says, Lauren, it was nothing, not even close to what it is now. I was able to be out. Sorry, I can't read that one. Let me put it up again. I was able to be out skating and hanging around with peeps. Never anything like today. Now I don't trust to be anywhere in the town now without protection. She said, yeah, it obviously was nowhere close to now. You know, actually used to get in trouble for breaking the law, but it was already going downhill. He goes, she definitely won't show up for court. The thing is she might show up for court, but she's going to show up with a badass lawyer. And what I want to know is if the court system is going to hold her accountable, or they're going to get their asses kicked in court, and she's going to beat the case. Because that's also possible too. So when I posted this video, there's a big discussion up, and everybody was bitching and moaning, talking about, okay, why is the officer reading the Miranda rights off of a card? You know, why are the officers acting shocked when they find the stuff and panicking when they found the gun and being so critical and stuff? And basically what the answer to that is that they read the Miranda right off of the card verbatim to the suspect. Because if they don't do it correctly, if they miss one word, if they try to remember it and they miss one word, the whole case can be jeopardized. If they don't collect the evidence properly, meaning they don't use their body cam to show that they found the gun exactly where they found it without touching it, and go through and take a picture of everything in order, exactly where it was in the vehicle and who was sitting in the vehicle, and go through the process of their searches with pictures, then lawyers can go in and basically, poke holes in the case and try to get the cases thrown out, or say that they didn't have probable cause, or that so-and-so wasn't sitting near the gun and it couldn't have been them, and it wasn't my drugs, it wasn't anything. The state of Vermont, it is not easy to prosecute people. So these cops go through all this shit just to get the cases the way they are. So they go through hell, and they do little things like that to try to mitigate the fact that it's very hard to get people actually prosecuted. She says, Heather Prue writes, I wish that you could split your time in Brattleboro and Springfield. That town also isn't doing well and could use this type of coverage. As we grow, as we get bigger, we are going to expand. We are going to expand into Springfield, Bellows Falls, Bennington. What needs to happen for that? I need to get more people involved with the Brattleboro News. I need to get more sponsors on board. The sponsors, which I always talk about, are the number one way that I'm going to be able to fund this, that I'm going to be able to expand this and make some changes. The information that I provide to the people of this community is invaluable. This is what is going to change people's mindset and how they go about thinking about safety in the town, about policing, about drugs. You can go and yell and scream and talk all you want, but if you don't have the information, if everybody doesn't have it available to see what is actually happening on the streets and how the police are playing out laws in the street, how it's actually playing out at traffic stops and drug busts and assaults and scams and whatever's going on, you need to be able to see it. Once you all watch it, and the way I report is non-biased, I don't interject any politics or any bullshit in. I just literally say what happens in the video and let you watch the raw footage so that you can make your own mind up. That is literally what is going to give people what they need to make decisions. She goes, that's great news. John Gotti writes, just stop snitching. Yeah, okay. Let me show you a situation that happened, okay? Let me show you a situation. This is coming out of Putney Road, Brattleboro, Vermont. This reel has been blowing up all over my social media sites, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, all on my reels and shorts, and everybody loves this one.
For a vehicle off Putney Road for defective equipment. Police got everyone out of the car because drug paraphernalia was in plain sight. Everybody in the vehicle gave consent for a search of their person, and the driver gave consent to search the vehicle. A small amount of fentanyl and crack was found on a passenger and seized.
Oh, is that the rose and the tube right there? The actual rose and the actual tube.
He was cited for a misdemeanor and released. firearm was located in the vehicle and seized. In Vermont, an officer can issue a citation to appear in court instead of arresting someone for a misdemeanor. Vermont Rule 3, Criminal Procedure.
I'm Hank with Brattleboro News and PlanetHank.com, sponsored by Brattleboro Ford.
Police pulled over a vehicle off Putney Road for defective equipment. Police got everyone out of the car because drug paraphernalia was in plain sight. Everybody in the vehicle gave consent for a search of their person, and the driver gave consent to search the vehicle. A small amount of fentanyl and crack was found on a passenger and seized.
Oh, is that the rose in the tube right there? The actual rose in the actual tube.
He was cited for a misdemeanor and released. A firearm was located in the vehicle and seized. In Vermont, an officer can issue a citation to appear in court instead of arresting someone for a misdemeanor. Vermont Rule 3, Criminal Procedure.
I'm Hank with Brattleboro News and PlanetHank.com, sponsored by Brattleboro Ford.
Bingo! So there's an inside look at the police pulling someone over. Okay, so there's an inside look at someone pulling, as the police pulling over a vehicle coming out of Great River Terrace on Putney Road in North Brattleboro. Okay, it was late, midnight-ish. The vehicle came out. The cops pulled it over. Immediately, they located a crack pipe sitting in the back seat. I saw it myself. They got everybody out. They found the fentanyl. They found some crack, okay? They searched everybody. They started collecting evidence. And then as everybody was out of the vehicle, they got consent from the driver. The driver was this old man who was pulling the, I like to help out people who have drug addiction problems. And I was helping him with a ride. I like to help people out. And the officer nailed it. Sergeant Hamilton said, "What are you helping out with at Great River Terrace at midnight?" Okay. And I've called bullshit on him. He was smoking crack. Make sure that you don't just think that everybody's only smoking crack is a young person. Old people smoke crack too. And they wear their nice little button-down shirt and they act like they're helping and they're smoking crack as well. So, and then as they're all out of the vehicle, they search the vehicle and find the gun. They find a gun in a backpack stuffed away from everybody. Nobody was sitting near it. They all were as far away from the gun as they could. They put it in the backpack and got it away. So the police couldn't really connect it to anybody in the vehicle, and they seized it. They seized the drugs, they cited the person holding the drugs, and told them basically, hey, look, you're going to court for a misdemeanor, user possession amount. The guy who had the drugs was not Brady disqualified, meaning he wasn't legally allowed to not have a gun. It was ridiculous. She said, "Nice work, Hank." She goes, "Always strapped while they're doing drugs. And all they got is a misdemeanor." Walter Hagedorn writes, "This is content I want. Raw truth, raw talent, raw Hank. Yes, sir, raw dog. We're going raw dog in this motherfucker." He says, "Is that your voice?" I'm not telling whose voice that is. I'm not telling. We are running secretive, okay? He goes, "This is the way the Democrats want it in the country." So let's go ahead. The next thing that I have on my schedule is to talk about the select board meeting here in town. I've got some slides of some crime stuff that I want to put up. Here's a stats list, the crime stats for the town. Let me pull this up a little bigger. Okay. So in the last 6 months, we have in the big light yellow portion on the right side, this is the circle graph that I'm looking at. There's this week and there's the last 6 months. So in the last 6 months, the biggest deal we have in town is larceny. Okay, followed by assault. The bright yellow is assault. This week, assault overtook larceny. So it's back and forth, and those are the two major crimes. The next one, the light blue, is drugs and narcotics. Dark blue is burglary. Then we're going with sex crimes and domestic violence. The hot times for crimes is Thursday night. So we got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Those are the times that we're dealing with the most crime. And you know, we can see that assault and larceny calls are 109 to 250 calls. The rate is 5.6 and 12.9. Calls this week, 8 and 8. We're tied up. And here's a map that's showing the downtown area, and the big circles here are Flat Street. These are the crimes. Elliott, Flat Street, near Main Street. We got a big circle at the Plaza Park off Malfunction Junction. You can see them broken down into what's happening. They're usually assaults. But here on Flat Street, the big one that's over here, there's a huge circle, one of the biggest circles, that has the drug activity in it. Drug activity on Elm Street here. Assaults and larcenies seem to be near Main Street and up on Elliott Street. And then down on Arch Street, it's all drug activity. Harmony parking lot, drug activity. So this was very interesting to see this. You know, to me, I was very interested to see the crime stats for the town. Let me go ahead and pop this down. Let me see how what's going on. Boom. Let me pull up my comments. She goes, stats are sexy. I love graphs. So cool. She goes, the same known streets. Shauna Little says, doing a great job. Hashtag filtered. So leaving for now. Too small to really see. Yeah, I know. This is the way Democrats want. I get it. They were very small. I wish I had a better graph. I reached out to the people doing the statistics and asked them. But basically, there's some other stuff that I want to show you here. And so we have our police slides. One of the main points that the police showed was that there were a list of 20 people that could be basically accounted for 5% of all police activity in the town. Okay, so all the calls basically could be weaseled down, and there were some people, there were 20 people that were named. And I'm not going to name them and everything like that. But, so when you look here, the number on the right side, it says top 10 for the first half of 2024. 63 calls, services, 19 T. That's for like treatments. And the 10A right here, that means 10 arrests. The number one person got arrested 10 times already in this year, which to me is insane. Okay, how do you get arrested 10 times in 1 year and you're still out? You're still out on the street. You've been arrested 10 times. Like, no wonder we have such problem. Our entire police force is arresting people. They're out here. They're doing foot patrols. They're doing driving patrols. They're doing everything they can. And people are getting arrested 10 times and getting let out by our court system. We need to figure out who our senators are, who our legislators are, who our reps are. That's ridiculous. They need to change the laws. It's ridiculous. Our ability to let people out of jail on court conditions and our bail system and our punishment system, it needs to change. Okay? It's absolutely ridiculous. 10 times? Dude, you get arrested 10 times in some of these other states, you be in prison for a long time, violating your bail like that over and over and over again. It's time for us to have some backbone, okay? So traffic stops, we got 900 compared to 600 last year. This year, we got 850 foot patrols compared to 650 last year. This year, we got 386 directed vehicle patrols to 288 patrols last year. And this year, we got 36 sex offender checks compared to 2 last year. So just so everybody gets what that means is that the police are out here busting their asses. Okay, they're doing a lot more work this year than they were doing last year. Definitely are. So this year we got 5,800 total incidents compared to 5,000 last year. 25 death investigations last year to 27 this year. 2 homicides last year, 1 homicide this year. 76 domestic assaults to 83 this year. Basically all this shows is that it's going up. Our police work is going up. They're making more arrests, and there are more incidents. Just because there's more police doesn't mean that means that there's more crime being reported. It's very important that you call, okay? If you are being victimized, you need to call and get the stats brought up. Some of the people at the select board that it pissed me off the most was some of the women from the NEYT, the Youth Theater on Flat Street, and the Boys and Girls Club. They said that the children this summer are no longer allowed to play outside, and they cannot hold events outside because the homeless people are going out there and using drugs and leaving their needles all over the ground, and it is not safe for children to be outside at the youth theater and do their summer camp. So their entire summer camp this year has to be inside. They were outside last year, and they'd always been outside. And this year, they are trapped inside because of how heinous it has gotten and how dangerous that they had to make that kind of call and say, listen, we cannot put these kids at risk. Like, God forbid, some kid didn't know what they were doing. They were playing around, found a needle, and poked themselves and contracted some sort of dangerous disease or overdosed or anything else. It's disgusting. Okay, they say every day before the kids show up, they got to show up hella early with all their employees and sweep around, kick people who are sleeping off the property, and clean up trash, bottles, alcohol containers, and heroin needles up off the ground. I don't know about you, but when I was growing up, man, it was considered a scumbag move to be doing drugs, alcohol, anything like that, fucking with kids. Okay? You don't go to a park, you don't go to a youth theater nonprofit and victimize the children, for your little high. Go find somewhere to be. Okay? I don't give a fuck what the hell your excuse is or that you're unhoused and that I don't give a fuck. You don't go down there and fucking do that around where the kids are going to play. That's ridiculous. Flat Street has the youth theater and the Boys and Girls Club. Why the hell are these freaking drug users down there in the first place? Find somewhere else to go. Go up in the woods. You want to fucking kill yourself and use fentanyl and be a fucking crackhead or whatever the hell? Go somewhere else. Fucking scumbags. You guys are out there fucking ruining kids' summer. Okay, making it unsafe for kids to be around the area so that you can have your little freaking drug fest down in the Prescott lot and down behind Dunkley's and be a bunch of fucking degenerates. You need to get your asses on. Get somewhere else. So at the select board meeting, a lot of people were asking questions saying, hey, look, what can we do now? And one of the things that I brought up to the select board afterwards is we need to get some lights on the Prescott lot. That's the lot in Flat Street where everybody's hanging out, where there was the stabbing, murder, where there's all kinds of assaults. There's all kinds of everything happening down there. It's absolutely ridiculous. We need to get some bright ass floodlights. Right now there's lights up, but they're kind of like city lights. They're like dim. We need to have like bow. So when you look in, you're going by on Flat Street and you look into the Preston lot, you can see clear as day what the fuck is going on in that lot. That needs to be lit up. 100% lit. The most dangerous area in town, light it up. We could get some lights down there for a few $1,000s, have the whole place like a goddamn sports stadium. Turn that up. Get some kilowatts down there. Let's get some electricity going. Are you shitting me? That's one simple, basic thing that we can do. Light it up. And get some cameras down there. I mean, those are just basics. How are we having murders and assaults and Title 18 drug activity and all kinds of sexual assaults and all this shit? We don't got no lights. We have no cameras down there. That's ridiculous. Will Young writes, thank Groundworks for helping the scumbags. Straight up. These nonprofits, the homeless nonprofits, the places for drug treatments and stuff, okay, and I'm doing a lot of research on nonprofits and what goes into these nonprofits, how they are misappropriating their funds, how much money they're getting. Okay, so in the state of Vermont, we have a $16 billion a year nonprofit economy going on. These places, like, okay, the Brattleboro Retreat, for one, they take $85 million a year to run the Brattleboro Retreat. Groundworks is about $3 million a year. It's ridiculous. The director of Groundworks is making $110,000 a year. Okay? That's ridiculous. Where is all the money going? They got a whole list of people who are getting paid to work up there, taking all the money. We need to be reevaluating these places that would love to have. They're all in bed with all the state reps and all the politicians, and they get their nonprofits approved, and then they all go up in there, and then they're all cronies, and they all like vote DNC and all act like they're saving the world. And what they're really doing is jacking up all the crime, drug use, mental illness, all the bad people they're drawing into the town from out of state. Like we just watched Brandon Bain with a huge swastika from Stockton, California, try to assault me and get throat punched. He's going to the retreat. He's going to Groundworks. He's one of the people that realizes that you're getting a better deal to come up here. If you want to be a drug addict or a criminal, you can get all kinds of benefits up here and barely get any put in jail at all. And when they get released, then they can go out and jack their numbers up and say they need more money. We need more funding. Oh, look at all the crime that's happening. Look at all the bad stuff in town. We need more money. Let's get some more. We need to be funded. We need more funding from the state for our nonprofit. Here, let's hire a whole bunch of other people and give them all these fat paychecks. Where's the money going? Because to me, it looks like it's just getting worse out there. It's not getting better. So what are we paying $85 million to the retreat for and millions more to build a new Groundworks and all this? And then when you go down to the select board, all these very same people are sitting on the select board. These actual people that are listed in the nonprofits as employees of the nonprofit that get paid are sitting on the select board. What's going on? Lauren Tiller writes, nonprofits are notorious for using funds for causes to line their pockets. They don't care because their greed is greater than their morals. Straight up. Nonprofits have been called out all over the place. And when these little lefties are in here saying that their homeless shelters helping and their drug treatments and all that, they want to go bitch about the NRA and say how, and these church nonprofits and say how corrupt nonprofits are, and then go turn around and do the exact same thing. They do the exact same thing. They misappropriate the funds. They take it from one place and put it in others. They do all kinds of stuff. Now, I'm not accusing anybody of anything because I don't specifically have the answer to that right now, but I'm telling you like this, it does not look good, all right? Because it sure looks like we're paying a lot of money and we're not getting any results. And then one thing's for sure, they sure want to grow. And in order for them to grow, they sure need more people to come into the town for them to treat. And then the more people that they can get funded through their nonprofit to work for them, then that's the more humans that they can help. We're helping humans, man. It's like, no, what you're doing is importing a drug and homeless epidemic into Brattleboro and then wondering why everybody's bitching. Nobody feels safe. Women are fucking crying. Okay, this week, I'm going to tell you, I got a story where a very nice woman who lives on Elliott Street had a female drug user break into her house while she was away. And basically lived in her apartment for 3 days, sleeping in her bed, ate up all her food, sold her flat screen TV, and was passed out, overdosing, it looked like, on fentanyl, and basically had needles and everything all over her bed. And the police had to come in. I have all the footage. She got arrested. And while she was arrested, she was wearing this woman's dress. She was literally wearing stolen clothes, all dressed up in this woman's clothes. And she was like, I love that dress. Okay. And now I'm never going to get it back. And it's disgusting. She says, I don't feel safe in my own house. I don't feel safe on my road. I feel like I'm being watched. She's like, how did they know that I was gone? Okay. There's a whole story developing just based off of that. She goes, and Rep Kornheiser is at the top of that nonprofit tree in deep. Yes, Emily Kornheiser. Yes, I met you at the select board meeting, and you were, I saw the fear in your eyes, okay? Because I'll tell you like this, you've got an election coming up, all right? And people are coming for you. And it just so happened that the people that you were sitting next to and rubbing your elbows with are all the nonprofit directors. So all these people get all cronied in with each other and select these state reps that are going to go ahead and make sure that the laws help support the ideas that what they should mostly be focused on is how to get housing for unhoused and importing the problems and making sure that they never go to jail. Okay, $16 billion a year. And then they act like we don't have enough money to fund the police departments or the jails in the state. That's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Okay? We need to get her out of there. She's a little lefty turd. Get her out of there. Run her out of town. It's your fault. These are the people that are down there doing the homeless revolution and all that. And now they're up here crying, saying that they, oh, well, why is the town being plagued by crime? Well, I wonder. Okay. And then saying, what can we do to get some more police and how do we fund that? And the select board literally said, well, we could raise taxes again and maybe fund some of that. It's like all the people taking all the money are down there wondering why there's no money in order to run the police department and arrest everybody. Yeah, because y'all took it all. Y'all took it because you're helping the state. No, you're not. Y'all are all profiteers taking all the money from the state and wondering why we have fucking retarded laws like this.
Pulled over a vehicle off Putney Road for defective equipment. Police got everyone out of the car because drug paraphernalia was in plain sight. Everybody in the vehicle gave consent for a search of their person, and the driver gave consent to search the vehicle. A small amount of fentanyl and crack was found on a passenger and seized.
Oh, is that the rose in the tube right there? The actual rose in the actual tube.
He was cited for a misdemeanor and released. A firearm was located in the vehicle and seized. In Vermont, an officer can issue a citation to appear in court instead of arresting someone for a misdemeanor. Vermont Rule 3, Criminal Procedure.
I'm Hank with Brattleboro News and PlanetHank.com, sponsored by Brattleboro Ford.
Someone want to explain to me how you get busted with fentanyl, crack, cocaine, fucking a goddamn 22 with a bullet in the chamber, and somehow you're not going to jail? Okay, and then you're living at GRT, which is a Wyndham Windsor housing, working with Groundworks, and we don't understand what the problem is. We don't see it. You can't make this shit up. What in the Brattleboro is going on here? Literally. She said, what? That's insane. Michelle Shepard writes, who's the lady voice? Let me tell you what. We're hiding the lady voice. I'm not exposing who that is. Are you kidding me? This town's not safe. If I expose who that voice is, she's probably going to get accosted and attacked. Said, so sad. Says, that is crazy. Absolutely. So all I'm saying is, the winning coalition is the Brattleboro News. We're going to expose everything in this state. We're going to expose the laws. We're going to discuss them. There's some great stuff that's going on. I don't like to blast everybody. I like some of the work that's going on. We got the Downtown Business Alliance. I don't know a lot about them. But one thing I will say is that Brattleboro's nice and cute. It's a nice, cutesy little town. We got some good events happening down there. I would like to see some of that continue, okay? I don't want to just tear it down. Everything's terrible. No, it's not. It's cute. We got some nice shops. It's fun to walk around, poke around in the stores, looking at little beads and, like, shopping for little gifts and shit. You could go around during daytime on the weekends. We got the gallery walk. We got some different events that happen. It's nice. We need to build on that, but it also shouldn't be costing us millions of dollars and somehow, like, there's some grooviness to, like, we're helping the homeless. Dude, we're not helping them. We're not helping them. They don't want to be helped. We're not helping them. We're making it worse. That shit is making it worse. He goes, preach it, Brother Hank. You're the new George Carlin of Brattleboro. He said all the same things, LOL. He said they got little dream catchers. He goes, it's Hank's blow-up doll. Leonard says, Wyndham Windsor Housing is the epitome of the drug dens and trap houses. Straight up, dude. They are the guilty party. I guarantee you that when we look into the Wyndham Housing Trust, how much they get paid, how much money's going in, where that money is going, what projects and where it's supposed to be. So when people are donating money, what is it supposed to be used for? And what percentage of the money that is donated goes to actually what it's supposed to, rather than straight up into the pockets of the people who are the director, employees, who owns the properties, all that crap. I'm going to research the hell out of it. I don't know everything I need to know. I don't have anything, but I'll tell you like this. Ever since we've been talking about this stuff, my inbox is full of all their ex-employees, all the people who have gone for services, all the people who live in their properties, all the people who used to work at these nonprofits, and they all have screenshots. They all have emails. They all have stories. They all have access, and they're all coming to the Brattleboro News, the number one news source for the state. We got more views than anybody. If you got a business and you want to promote yourself, this is where to go. I am a very savvy content creator. I'm coming for it. I got more views than all of these stupid little nonprofits put together, and they have millions. They can't compete. They can't do anything. They don't have my energy. They don't have my skill. They can't do anything. They're down there fucking buying Volvos and sitting on their butts. And it'll never happen. So if you got something you want to promote, you support me, you like what you see with this podcast, with this news source, you like watching our videos, get up with it. Find some sponsors. Help it out. The only way this can get bigger is to get funding from sponsors, to have people who have their businesses that are sick of the crap, sick of the crime. Let's get it. Sponsor yourself on the show. Big shout out to the OGs who have always sponsored me, always been part of the winning team. Cherokee Diversified, DR Roofing Solutions LLC. We got Brattleboro Ford off Putney. $250 off all vehicle purchases, 10% off service work if you mention Brattleboro News. We got Renegade Property Maintenance. We got King's Electric, the premier electric company in the region. We got Stripe It, Seal It. We got Zico's Haircuts. Go get your hair cut. Y'all are looking grubby. Okay, we got Vermont Roadworks, one of our newest sponsors. You need any road work done, any type of asphalt, anything like that, pop over to the dance party this Saturday night. This Saturday night, we're dancing it up. Okay, make sure you support that. And as always, support the Brattleboro News. The very best. You see this card, you see me, ask me for a card, ask me for a selfie. I'll sign it for you. Lauren Tiller just made a hell of a comment right here. I'll tell you like this. She goes, 12,000 followers and growing. We got 12,000 on Facebook. We got 18,500 on Instagram. My TikTok's low because I got like 2,000 on there because TikTok deleted my whole TikTok because I was in the goddamn car. I went live while I was in the car and they deleted, literally like no warning, just deleted the whole TikTok. So we're building that one back up. But you can, and then our YouTube's new, but we're just about to get over 1,000 subs. But most of our views go on YouTube. Melissa Ann says, Fred is the best. Dorian Lee Thies writes, hello, my name is Doreen. Doran. I am tired of the shit in Bennington, Vermont. Straight up. I would love to expand out to Bennington, expand up to Springfield, Bellows Falls, cover some other areas. I know that there's so much need for it, and everybody loves this type of content. Lauren Tiller writes, we're taking over. Team Hank. So I guess the last thing that we'll do is everybody in the comments, type hashtag Team Hank, hashtag Brattleboro News. Team Hank, if you're on board, pop it up. Pop this into your stories. Write Team Hank, the greatest news source in all of Vermont. We're going to make it happen. And just remember, when they all start bitching about me. Brattleboro News is here to stay. Okay, so thank everybody for watching the show. Brattleboro News, the #1 news source in Vermont. I go live usually Thursday nights, 6 p.m. But I'll tell you like this, all y'all rating Team Hank and loving this show, I gotta go. I gotta end it at some point because that scanner's starting to pop off. Okay, we're starting to get some calls in. Brattleboro is starting to fall apart. And I got to get out there, and I got to make the content for you guys to actually watch. So if you see me out there, do a shout out, yell to everybody, say,
where was it?
Planet Hank live show, Brattleboro News. Michelle says, have a straight night. He goes, is it Thursday? Nonprofits are exactly what they are. Yep.
Connected with the 1-8 case from
Love you guys. Brattleboro News Recap Show.